Yeah, I think when I have a chance, I'm just going to continue doing these live streams because I still just don't frequently have a real good chance to make like a planned out video, and I still want to do that, but I thought maybe I could take the time in these live streams to just do really broad topics and kind of set stuff up, set some pins up that I can knock down later when I can make like a real video. One video I want to make, or a series of videos I want to start doing, is I've been reading Dante, and I'm definitely not an expert on Dante or literature or the classics or anything like that, but I definitely see a lot of things in Dante that I would like to make videos on. I don't want to say like codes, but there's definitely veiled references and allegories for all types of stuff in Dante. And there's parts in Dante where he even says, he's like, let him who has wisdom try to pierce the veil of my strange allegory here. Like, it's pretty explicit that he's like, this is a code for something. I'm talking about something else. And a lot of it's really interesting. It's also just very good. So, I guess I don't really care if anyone's interested in it or not. I'm going to do it either way. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to try and make a couple videos on Dante. Yeah, but I thought I could do these live streams when I don't have a chance to make real videos and just do very broad subjects. Like this one, I'm going to just try and talk about magic, the occult, secret societies. I could do like politics, the media, free will, mental illness, whatever else I think of. And I know it's kind of ridiculous to just make the topics so broad. Like I just have I'm just gonna sum up politics in one half-hour live stream here. But no, I definitely don't have all the answers on anything. But maybe just give my view on things up to this point. What I've accumulated up to this point. Yeah, so this one, the occult and secret societies. Basically, what I was thinking about is all of the occult. Basically, I don't believe in the occult. I think everything that is like secret, occult doctrine, occult secret societies, anything occult is basically just complete bullshit. Anything you really need to know is not secret. There's no way to even make it secret. But that doesn't mean I don't think there's anything to it either. Like, I do think that people like commune with spirits, demons, like fallen angels and all. I believe that's all real. And but my point, I guess, is just that there's nothing actually like to get out of it. It's all just sort of a big trick, in my opinion, at the end. Because basically, when you get down, I'm communicating with these very powerful spirits and these archdukes of hell, and I have to go through all these really complicated secret rituals. And basically, when you get down to the bottom of it, like, okay, what's the secret? The secret ends up being just like, hey, you just lie. You can just lie and get whatever you want. Like, and it's kind of like a letdown. Like, but it's accompanied by all this pomp and circumstance and whatnot. But that's what I basically think about, like, for instance, the money system, okay? Like alchemy, right? Which, yeah, I understand there's like a good version and a bad version of everything. And I understand alchemy as like a philosophic metaphor of internal transformation, a metaphysical metaphor, but there's also something to the like transmuting base metals into gold, lead into gold, basically like making money from nothing. Okay, that's like the basic metaphor of alchemy. And yeah, you can trace it back through all this, the whole history, back to the Babylonian temples, more recently like the Templars, Knights Templars, setting up the modern checking and banking system, and all the way back to the money lenders, usurers in ancient times, and like the Babylonian temple money systems and all this stuff. And if you think of alchemy in that way, like the bottom basic line, like what is just pretty much general knowledge now, if you want to research these kinds of things, if you want to know anything about how the world actually works, is like partly like just fractional reserve banking, for instance. Like, hey, get this, you act like you're holding people's money and loaning it out, but actually you just loan out way more money that you don't actually have. Ooh, it's magic, now you have a shitload of money. And the people are like, wow, thanks, Baphomet, like, wow, you've revealed a great magical secret to me. I just lie. Like, you just lie and you can win at life. Like, but it's just bullshit. Like, there is no fucking secret. And like, of course, when you go on that course long enough, you gradually descend into greater and greater depravity. Like, when you've been lying and stealing for long enough, eventually you are forced into like more complicated fraud and violence and extortion and intimidation and eventually murder. And you're forced to bring more and more people in on the lies. And then you're forced to create more elaborate ritual depravity to enforce your blackmail scheme and your stealing and lying. But like, that is what's at the root of the occult and like the alchemical secret of, like, you know, like the Dire Straits song, money for nothing and your chicks for free. I was just thinking too, the like first line of that song, not the I want my MTV, but like when the song actually starts, it's something about a yo-yo. It's a good song though, but it's like we gotta move these color TVs. We gotta install these microwave ovens, which now seems kind of weird. Like 30 years later, we gotta install these microwave ovens. We gotta move these color TVs. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. But yeah, that's this. To me, that's the like root secret of all the occult and secret societies, and that is why they are all based on debasing yourself and just some sort of like the initiation, from what I've, you know, come to understand in my research over the decades, is like basically it starts off as like embarrassing sexual depravity. Like, to get into the Knights Templar, you gotta like let all the dudes gangbang you or whatever. Like, hey, we're gonna take a vow of celibacy, but also you cannot refuse another knight, brother knight, in his hour of need. Like, you gotta do a bunch of gay shit. And like saying, but they're all like that. Like, they all start off with something like that. Like, or like Skull and Bones. Like, what, I don't remember exactly what it is, but you gotta get in a coffin and jerk off, or have everyone jerk off on you, or something. They're all relatively like similar. Like, you're gonna do some embarrassing gay shit. We're probably gonna film it or whatever. Like, and that's just the entry level. And then like, you've already done that. You're put in a position where you're like, well, I've already done that. I might as well do this. I'm already in. And it's just this slide down the scale of depravity to where at the bottom it's like just the most unimaginably horrible shit. And the real secret of it all is just like, yeah, lying. Hey, you can just lie and basically do whatever you want. Hey, well, what if we get caught? Oh, just kill them. Just kill people. Like, there is no real secret. Like, that's what it always comes down to. Like, I was reading, I read this, I was going back and reading some Jim Keith books recently. R.I.P. Jim Keith. OG, Cold Gun. Jim Keith. I mean, I got my own issues with Jim Keith. I definitely don't agree with everything he says, but he's got some great books, and was like way ahead of his time with a lot of that stuff. But anyway, I forget what book it was I was reading in it, but it's basically about mafia stuff, and it's about the mafia just running the whole world. And I don't even agree with everything in the book. Like, a lot of this stuff is definitely just not believable. Like, I don't believe it. It's not true. But the general concept is true about the mafia running the world. And I don't mean like the Italian mafia or something like that. I mean like people that are willing to kill people and torture people for material gain. Yeah, they're always going to be like in control of the power structure, because that's the big secret of like ruling the world, is like, you just lie and kill people. That how do you make gold from nothing? How do you make money from nothing? Oh, you just lie. You just like act like you want to protect people's money, but then you bet on all this other stuff, make all kinds of crazy bets. You lend out more money than you have, fractional reserve banking. Or even like the Templars. Like, we have this system to keep people safe traveling to the Holy Land. Like, you deposit your money here, and we'll keep it safe for you during your few years' journey to the Holy Land. And you can stay at our hospitals or hotels or whatever they called them along the way. And, we'll have everything you need, and we'll keep your money safe. But in the meantime, it's not just the big... Alright, it looks like I'm live again. Okay, so I was saying the Templars, not just the basis of modern banking, but also insurance, right? Like, hey, we'll keep everyone's money safe in case something bad happens to you. We'll keep all your stuff safe. But in the meantime, like, you can do stuff with their money. You can invest their money, and like the more money you have sitting around for the longer amount of time, like just like how it is now, how the stock market just goes up forever. Like, if you just have massive sums of money, you can just make money off the money. It's called usury, which is, forbidden as I understand it. Yeah, so anyway, that's the basis of all. To me, it's all bullshit. That's the real secret. But I do believe, I'm not saying that like demons and fallen angels aren't real, and like ritual magic and sacrifice and all this stuff. I do think it works in the sense that you can make contact with like spiritual entities. But the point is, like, they don't really have any wisdom to like impart to you. And that is why I am a Christian, like, or, and a believer and a follower in the teachings of Christ, because what I take out of the Bible is, like, basically, number one, there's no intermediaries. Like, you don't need to worship angels or any entities or gods or anything. It's like you can just have a direct line to the Most High God, whatever the highest force is. in reality. You can connect with that directly. You don't need to subjugate yourself to any other forces at all, period. And you, especially not people. Like, you don't need someone to initiate you into any secrets, a person. And you don't need any priest to act as an intermediary between you and any spiritual forces. Like in Revelation, it says, Christ who made no one for us but a high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, which is Jesus. But the point is, like, if you are really a disciple of Christ, then you are a king and priest over yourself, which means, priest as far as interpreting spiritual law and reality in Scripture. You don't get to say, well, I believe that because I follow this guy and that's what he told me. Like, no, that doesn't work. You have to be a priest yourself.